निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। सन्तोषिणी जगन्माता मम सौभाग्यवृद्धये नमस्करोमि भक्त्या त्वां प्रसन्ना वरदा भव। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयातितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मप्रोज्झितकैवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। भागवते महामुनिकृते वापरेरीश्वरः शुश्रूषितक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेदमपेदकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदो तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् आध्यात्मदीपमतितितिर्षदां तमोन्तं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So we were listening to Prachina Barhi's story. Prachina Barhi was the father of Prachetas. Got that lot of lineage is thereafter. O Prithuraja dynasty. Then the last one is Prachina Barhi, father of Prachetas, who was steeped in ritualism. So Prachetas, after listening to Rudragitam, Rudragitam is on Narayana, that is the beauty. It is not on Rudra. There is a Rudragitam is in Ramayana. That is on Rudra. But here it is, Rudragitam is on Narayana. Bhagavan Rudra is singing in praise of Narayana. So he advised them to meditate, chanting this, meditate upon Narayana. And they went to the ocean and standing in the ocean, chanted the mantras and meditate upon Lord Narayana. Now leave them alone there, they will take time. So in the meantime, what happened to Prachina Barhi? Prachina Barhi was approached by Narada. Narada, being compassionate, he wanted to bless this Raja who is engaged in ritual. Continuously he was performing rituals. So much so that the darba used in the yajna, if you can spread it upon the earth, it will cover the earth. That much. Think about it. So, Shreyatvam Kadamadrajan Karmanatmana Ihase Dukkahani Sukhavapti Shreyastasneha Chechyate. The fourth verse in the chapter 25. So Narada asked, what good do you expect from the practice of Vedic ritualism? Man's good consists in the eradication of suffering and attainment of permanent happiness. Neither of these is obtained by ritualistic activities. Dukkha navritti, sukha prapti. Both are not possible through ritual. The Prachina Barhi said, Na janami mahabhaga param karmapa viddhatihi pruhi me vimalam jnanam yena muccheda karmabhihi griheshu gudadharmeshu putradara dhanarthadihi na param viddhate mudhaha brahman samsara vartpasu. So he said, being overcome by this obsession with ritualism, my intellect does not understand anything, because a lot of smoke has gone there. Enlighten me, therefore, that knowledge of the Spirit which will enable me to free from this ritualism. Then he says, Griheshu Kudadharmeshu Putradara Dhanarthadihi Naparam Vindate Mudaha Brahman Samsara Vartmasu. This is also important. A man wandering aimlessly along the ways of samsara, and attached to the evil of the domestic life, considered his son, wife, wealth as the be-all and end-all. He knows of nothing higher. Now, Narada says, O king, Bho bho prajapate rajan pashun pasyatvayadvare sapnyapidan jiva sanghat nigraneshna sahasrasha. Look at the now Narada with his yogic power, he showed this Raja those animals he killed for the yajna. They are all waiting there. They are recalling the suffering you have inflicted on them. They are all waiting to take revenge on you. After your death, they will in great anger attack and tear you to pieces with their horns. To save you from that situation only, I have come and I shall narrate to you the story of Puranjana. Now, that story, I told you I will tell you class. It's a long passage. You don't have to read all that. I have summarized it for my Saptaham, so I'll give you that. There was a king called Puranjana. Once upon a time, there was a king called Puranjana. He had a friend called Avijñāta. What the friend was doing was not known to this Raja. Puranjana roamed about to find a place to establish his kingdom. As he was going about, he saw a beautiful city. In that city, he saw a beautiful girl also. She was protected by a 5-hooded snake. When he saw her, he asked her, "Who are you? Where is this palace? From where have you come? Who are your parents?" All these questions he asked. And she listened to all that. She smiled and said, "I do not know my origin, and you also do not know your origin. Let us not waste time. You want to get married? I also want to get married. Let us get married to each other. You are looking for a place to settle down. You stay here and all of these servants will serve you. The 5-hooded serpent is protecting me." Then she said something very interesting. As only in household life, all purusharthas can be gained. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. For sannyasis do not know the joy of life. Therefore, let us get married. King Puranjana got married to her. They both entered the 9-gated city. Then what happened? He got so attached to her. Whatever she did, he also did. She laughed, he laughed. She cried, he cried. This is what happened now after marriage. Thus, deluded by attachment, he became a toy in the hands of that queen. One day a Raja went out for hunting, killed many animals, and he felt very happy. This Raja's hunting also is an exercise, because they will not have battlefield to exercise, you see. So they try their skill on the animals. That's how they practice and keep it sharp. He came back and saw that his wife was angry with him. Then he tried to console her, saying that, I shall surely punish the one who offended you. He went on like this to please her. Actually, she was not angry. She wanted to get some attention, that's all. Thus, time passed and had many children. Finally, a time came, a Gandharva invaded the kingdom. Prajwara and Jara. Prajwara and Jara. Jara means old age. Attacked, and he tried to save his life and children, to save his wife and children, but could not. They died, and finally he also died. Those animals whom he killed were waiting for him. After suffering from them, their hands, he was reborn. He was extremely attached to his wife. Therefore, he was reborn as a daughter of Vidarbha, called Vidarbhi. Then, afterwards, when she grew up, she was married to Malayadwaja Raja. After some time, Malayadwaja Raja renounced the world, became a great yogi, and left his body. She did not realize it. When she touched the feet, she realized that her husband is dead. She started weeping and crying. At that time, a Brahmin arrived there and said, "Do you recognize me? I am your friend with whom you travelled once. I am that nameless friend of yours, Avijñāta. Abandoning me, you left seeing that lady. Actually, you are not Vidarbhi. You are Puranjana. Actually, you are not either of this, neither Puranjana or Vidarbhi. You are that Hamsa, Paramahamsa. Both of us are one truth." Now, this was the story. Now, Raja, listening to the story, he said, "I don't understand what you are saying. Please tell me." So Narada said, this is a metaphorical story. There is no king called Puranjana. It is only an imagination of Narada. This Jivatma is called Puranjana, the symbolic meaning. His unknown friend is Atman, Ishvara. When Jiva decides to enjoy his karma, he enters a human body which has 9 gates. The woman is called intellect. 5-hooded serpent is 5 pranas. 10 servants, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas. and other sakhis are thousands of thoughts. Whenever a thought rises, I become that. As the thought, so I am. In this body, one cannot stay too long. Time is the Gandharva who attacked with fever and old age, Prajwara and Jara. In the end, you have to give in for time. Finally, Guru comes and makes you understand. You are not the body, mind or intellect. You are Paramatma. No karma can give you permanent happiness. Therefore, develop devotion to the Lord. With the company of great devotees, one can develop devotion. He Parjina Barhi, those who are attached to too much rituals and too much intellectual studies, they will miss this. Too much Shastra Vichara. It is like a deer. Now he gives a comparison here. 48th verse in the 29th chapter 29. Samlokam na vidustaive yatra devo janardana ahurdhum radhiyo vedam sagarma matitida astirya darbho darbhai pragagrehi Kastena Chidimandalam Stapto Brihatvadhamnami Karmana Vaishiyat Param Tatkarma Haridosham Yatsa Vidya Tanmadiryaya. So only those whose intelligence is clouded by ignorance assert that the Veda is nothing more than ritualism. They do not know that the Supreme Lord is the goal of the Veda. There are people who convert the land into a yajna hall by covering the whole place with darba grass, arranged with its seed heads pointing eastward, and by slaughtering numerous animals. They grow proud and vainglorious about their ritualistic performance, but they fail to understand one thing, that the real ritualistic karma is what is pleasing to Sri Hari, and true knowledge is that which directs the mind to seek delight in Him. Sri Hari is the soul of all jivas, is the master of himself and the Lord of all. His feet are a shelter for all beings. There alone can man be happy and secure. Then Narada says, Prasnayevam hi chamchinno bhavata purusharshava atrameva tado guhyam nichamaya sunischitam. O king, I have replied to your question, and your doubts are for the most part cleared, but I shall tell you something more profound which will set all doubt at rest. Listen, what is that? Chutranjaram sumanasam sharane militva rektam shangrigana samasu lubdhakarnam agre vrigana sutrtupo viganayayantam prishte mrigam mrigaya lubdhakabhana bhinnam. Imagine a buck deer accompanied by its female moving about in a garden, absorbed in eating the tender grass and leaves there, and listening with deep attention to the humming of the bees. In this absorption, in these enjoyments, he overlooked the presence of certain wolves before him who will be satisfied with nothing less than his life. And he is also unaware of the hunter approaching him from behind, whose arrows will soon wound him. In Mahabharata also there is a beautiful analogy. After the Mahabharata war, Dhritarashtra became very sorrowful. At that time, he was crying and fell down from his own throne and was lying down on the ground, crying, weeping, lamenting. At that time, Sanjaya came and gave some advice. Why are you crying now? This was told to you before. Lord Krishna himself came and told you. Pitamaha told you. Vidurji told you. All the noble people, they told you. You didn't listen. Now why are you crying? And you should not cry as a Kshatriya also, you should not cry. All your children died in the battlefield facing the enemy's arrows. So they have gone to heaven. So they should not, Kshatriya should not cry. They all attain Veerasurgam. Then Vidurji gives him another beautiful advice. There's a long passage of advice is there. And he talks about human life is very short. So same teaching is there in Gita also. Jatasya dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janmamatasya cha tasmat apariharyarthe naivam shojitu varhasi. Same teaching is there. Vidurji is giving. And what you call, we came from where we don't know. In between we appear. Afterwards we die. Where we go we don't know. Why are you crying about it? Like this he gave a talk. Then finally he says, this samsara is very interesting. Why the desire for living, human being never give up. Because life is so dear to him, sweet to him. How sweet it is, he gives an example. Very interesting. A man was chased by a tiger. in the jungle. And then what happened? To escape from that tiger, he jumped into a well. And that as he was falling down, he held on to the root of a tree and he was hanging. Actually, he was hanging upside down. Then when he looked down, there is a great serpent waiting, hissing at him. And then looked back, tiger is still there. And while he was falling, he disturbed a honeycomb. So the honeybees are hovering around him, biting him. But what happened in between? He disturbed the honeycomb. That honey started dripping. And this man is trying to lick that honey. This is human enjoyment, he says. How many problems are there? In between, little joy we get. That is idea here given, same thing. So, then there is this prose order is there. It's very beautiful Sanskrit. Sumanas sadharmanam strinam sharana ashrame pushpa madhugandha vakshudratamam kamya karma vipakajam kama sukhalavam jahyatyopaskhyadi vichanvantam mithuni bhuya tatapiniveshita manasam shankri gana sama gita vatati manoharavanti harava nitani janalaye labeshwati tara ati pralobhita karnamagre vrika yutha vadatmana ayurharato ahoratrantan kalalava visheshana viganaya griheshu viharantam prishtata eva paroksham anupravritto lubdhakaha kritanto antasharena yamiha paravityati tamimam atmanatmamaho rajan binna hridayam drashtumarhasiti. Wow. See how the fate of man resembles that of this deer. The home provides man with enjoyment of womanly beauty, perishable like garden flowers. There he obtains enjoyments of good eating and other pleasures. The fruit of his karma, his mind is absorbed in these and in the delightful prattle of women and children. In his engrossment in these things, he forgets the time called wolf of day and night which consume his life. In the midst of it, doth the cruel hunter strike him down with his own arrows. Then Narada says, Sattvam vijaksha vrgacheshtita bhatma nondachittam niyacchakriti karna dhunim cha chitte jahyanganashramamasattamayudhagadham prinihi sasaranam viramakramena. Beautiful. remembering that your fate is also will be like that of a deer. Control your mind and teach it to be restrained within the heart. Control also your sense organs with your mind. Abandon the home where you can hear only talk of this sensuous life. How much that neighbor made, how much your friend made. Think about it. You are also going to the same office. What is the use? This is the talk, right? Abandon the home where you can hear only talk of the sensuous life. Adore the Lord, who is the one shelter of all. Thus, little by little, renounce worldly life. Now, Raja asked this question. Srutamanvikshitam Brahman Bhagavan Yadhabhashada Naidachanantyupadhyayaha Kimna Bruyur Viduryati Samshayotratu me vipra Samchinnastat krito mahan Shayosihi muhyanti Yatta nendriya vrittayaha. O great one, what you have told me, I listened to carefully and understood. My own teachers probably did not know anything about these truths. Otherwise, why did they not instruct me in them? The doubt caused by the imperfect instruction of the teachers has now been removed. But still some doubt remains. What is the doubt? His doubt is, the rituals are performed by this physical body. And when you go to heaven, you enjoy the fruit of your ritual in another body. Now, how do you connect that, Difficult to understand how the fruits of work done by one body can be enjoyed by another. Got the idea? Should be enjoyed by the same body, And also, these Vedic rituals are time-bound, because a particular time it starts, particular time it ends. So, how can a perished entity become fruitful long after in another world? These are all questions. People ask this question also. You are pouring the ghee in the fire, and how it is taken to gods? That's a question. Now Narada's answer is interesting. Yenaiva rabhate karma tenaiva mutratat puman bhunkte hyavyayava avyavabhadanena lingena manasa swayam shayanami ma musricya shasantam purusho yatha karmatmanyahidam bhunkte tadrishe netarenava. Now, the body you have to leave here. Afterwards, the Linga Sharira, that is subtle body, that goes to heaven. And then he is given a Bhoga Sharira, heavenly body, to enjoy heavenly pleasures. Now he gives an example. In dream, you are dead to this body. But in dream also, you are traveling, you are conversing with people. Sometimes you enjoy also certain pleasures. And how you do that? There is a dream body given to you, which is called Pratibhasika Satta. So this world is called Vyavaharika Satta. Dream world is called Pratibhasika Satta, means Mithya. Then beyond that called Paramarthika Satta. There are three levels of existence, three-dimensional they say, no? This is what it is. There is a four-dimension also they talk about. So Narada gives that explanation. Then finally he says, therefore, O Prajinavarhi, please worship Bhagavan, develop devotion to the Lord. That is the bottom line. The 79th verse. Atastapadabadadartham vajas sarvatmana harim vachinstadatmagam vishwam titputtatyatpayayataha. He says, therefore, to overcome the bondage of samsara, worship wholeheartedly the Supreme Lord Hari, the source of creation, preservation and dissolution. See the world as its gross manifestation. Narada, having instructed, Prajinavarhi departed from there. Thereupon, what Prajinavarhi did, entrusting his kingdom and the duty of continuing the royal line to his sons, went to Kapilashrama to devote himself to spiritual practice. Where is Kapilashrama? In Siddhavari. Our ashram is there. Yes. Yes. No. That's California, they say generally. But in India, our Siddhavari ashram, near that there is a Kapila Guha. That is where Devahuti got Upadesha from Kapila. That is there. That's why Gurudev wanted that place. Siddhavari. Now, giving up all attachment to worldly things, Prajinavarhi meditated upon the Lord and finally attained mukti. Now, The Phalashruti is given here, 83. Etadhyatma paroksham geetam devarshinanaka yash sravayedyash sunyatsa lingena vimuchyate. Whoever hears or reads the spiritual story narrated by Narada, the divine sage will gain freedom from the hold of the Linga Sharira. Freedom from the hold of Linga Sharira means what? Your Linga Sharira get dissolved, means moksha. Actually, Prajina he did not, the sons were doing meditation, isn't it? Mentally he handed over, but he did not wait for them to come back. He left the kingdom. Naturally, the kingdom was without a king. So now then what happened to those prachetas? Now let us read chapter 30. Story of the prachetas. Ye tvaya vihida brahman sudha prachina varhishaha te rudragitena harim siddhimapu pradoshyakam kim barhaspatyeha paratravadha kaivalyanada priyapasharvavartinaha asadya devam girisham yadrichaya prapuhu param unamatha prachetasaha. This is Vidurji's question. You told us before that the sons of Prachina Varhi propitiated Sri Hari through a hymn called Rudragitam. What did they attain by that? How did the Prachetas happen to meet by chance Sri Rudra? The greatest of the devotees of Sri Hari receive his blessing and attain to the highest destiny. Mere chance cannot explain this. You cannot say it is by chance they met Lord Shiva. Now, Vaitrashi is answering that Prachetasondarudhau rudathau pidaradeshakarinah jabayatnena tapasa puranjanamatoshayan Deshavarsha sahasrante purushatsu sanatanaha tesham avirabhut kristram shantena shamayan rucha suparnaskanda varudho meru shringamivambuvaha udaha pidavasa panikrivaha kurvan vidimira dishaha. So, obedient to to their father, the Prachetas keeping themselves submerged in the ocean worshipped the Supreme Being chanting Rudra Gita. At the end of 10,000 years, that eternal being Narayana, in order to relieve them of the extreme ordeal of their austerity, appeared before them in his form of Shuddha Sattva. Bhagavan seated on the shoulders of Garuda like a blue cloud resting on a peak of Mount Meru and bedecked with the yellow wearing cloth and the brilliant jewel Kaustuba. His presence drove away the darkness from all quarters. With a brilliant diadem on his head, all description is there, Bhagavan. Kasturi tilakam lalada palake vakshasthale kaustupam mahasagre navamuktikam karatare venum kare kankanam. That is little Krishna's description. Okay. Here it is grown up Bhagavan. So he appeared with all his glory in front of this prachetas, 10 of them. Now Bhagavan said, Varam vrinitvam bhadram vo yuyam me nrapanandana sauhardana pratak dharma tushtoham sauhrdena vaha. O princess, choose any boon you want from me. May you prosper. I am very much pleased to see among you arising from devotion to a common ideal. You are together, you want also for all of you one thing only. So I know that, so you ask of me. Whoever think of you at eventide will be united together as one soul. If they are brothers, they will be friendly with all beings. Those who praise me with Rudragitam, Yedumam Rudragitena Sayam Prata Samahitaha Stuvantyaham Kamavarat Dasye Pratnyam Cha Shobhanam. Those who praise me with the Rudragita in the morning and evening with concentration of mind will be blessed with all they want and also with pure knowledge. Then, 11th verse. Yatyuyam pitura desha bakrahishta mudanvita athova ushati kirtihi lokan anubhavishyati bhavita vishuddhaputro navamo brahmano gunaihi ya edam atmavirrena trilogim puraishyati. You will attain to great fame in the world for having gladly accepted your father's order. You will have a famous son equal to Brahma himself in virtue. To that son will be born numerous issue who will fill the land. Now he tells the story. Kando pramlochaya labdva kanya kamalalochana tam chapavidham jahur bhuruha drupanandana. A rishi named Kando begot in an Apsara woman named Pramlocha, a daughter of great beauty called Kamalalochana. So Kandu married Pramlocha and they got a daughter called Kamalalochana. Now the Apsaras, after giving birth to a child, they will leave the child and run away. So all those people who leave their child in the dustbin and all that, they are like Apsaras. They leave. abandoned by her mother, the daughter was adopted and brought up by the tree deities, Vanadevata. Trees also got a deity, okay? Vanadevata it is called. Chukshamaya mukhe raja soma piyushavarshinim desinim rodamanaya nithade sadayanvitaha. When the child was crying for hunger, mother left her to the forest. Lying down in the forest, the child was crying hunger. And who gave her food? Soma, moon god, gave her nectarine food. Now, you have been commanded to multiply the species by your father, who is always obedient to my commandment. Now, Bhagavan says, you people should go marry that girl, Kamala Lochana. You should marry her. So, even though you are 10, but you marry one girl. So see, one girl marrying to 10 husbands. Panchali was only 5. Here is 10. Accepting them as a single person. So she will accept you as a single person. With my blessing, you will live several thousand years, remain powerful in this world, enjoy good things of life. Afterwards, because of your unwavering devotion to me, you will come to me, or you become one with me. Then Bhagavan given advice here, it's very interesting. What is that 19th verse? Griheshva vishatam chapi pumsam kuvasalakarmanam madhartayaatayamanam navandhaya griha mata nabandhaya griha mataha. The home is not a prison. Even for those who have entered the householder's life, if they live unattached and spend their time in hearing about my works and excellences, Navyabhatritaye yatnyo brahmaidat brahmavadibihi namuhyanti na shochanti na hrisyanti yato gadaha. In the hearts of such devotees I enter, make my presence felt. They are never subject to infatuation, depression or elation. Now, Prachetas, listening to Bhagavan's blessing, they sang in praise of him. A beautiful hymn is there, long one. But finally they say the boon we seek is this, the 39. Yennaswadidam gurava prasadida viprascha vriddhacha sadanuvritya aryanata surdo bhradarascha sarvani bhudanyanasuyayaiva. The boon we seek is this, that all the holy acts we have performed, the spiritual studies we have made, the continuous service with which we have pleased our teacher, holy men, elders, the salutation we have made to holy personages, the satisfaction we have given by our loving attention to our brothers, friends and other living beings in general, the austerities we have been performing for all those long years, submerged in water and without taking any food. Think about it. May all that go for the propitiation of Thee. Ha! All those things go to Him as worship Bhagavan. Then what happened? They came out, and when they looked at the whole earth, what happened was the trees have grown. The whole earth was covered with trees. The Raja was not there to take care of the kingdom. So what happened was, they got angry. And they are all great tapasvis. When they opened their eyes with anger, fire came out and burned the whole tree. That is why California fire and all that. Agni Devata is hungry, so he is eating all that. So here Prachetas, at that time all Vanadevatas, they got frightened. And what they did, Vanadevata's daughter is Kamalalochana. So they offered Kamalalochana to Prachetas to appease them, their anger. So they married Kamalalochana, and they had a son whose name was Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati was reborn as another Daksha. This is the same Daksha, but reborn Daksha. They also ruled the kingdom for a long time. Then they got tired of, taking care of kingdom. They, remembering the instruction of the Lord, they abandoned their home and become ascetics. Interesting, their wife to take care of, to their children. Children will take care of wife. That's what Vanaprasthashram. Either you can go with your wife or wife willing. If wife doesn't want to go, don't force. So they themselves went. So, at that time, Narada visited them in their place where they were doing tapas. When they saw Narada, You know what they said? Very interesting. Oh Narada, you have come, thank you, because we lived in a Grihastha ashrama for a long time. All our spiritual glory has vanished. All our spiritual glory has gone. Now please instruct us, following which we can regain our glory. Narada said, Tachanmatani, 9th verse. Tachanmatani karmani tadayustanmano vachaha nrinam yeneha vishwatma sevyate haririshwaraha. 9th verse. Life, work, time, mind and words of one embodied as human become really purposeful only when they are utilized in the service of Hari, the Supreme Being. Of what use are the three forms of birth? Three forms of birth is what? Birth in a noble family, the ceremony of Upanayanam, and the initiation to sacrificial rites. Of what use are the rites and ceremonial prescribed by the Vedas? What use is a long life equal to that? Finally, Narada said, take sannyasa and seek Bhagavan with complete devotion. So 19th verse he says, Teyaya sarvabhuteshu sandushtya yena kena va sarvendriyopashantya cha tushyantyashu janardanaha. Sandushto yena kena chita. In 12th chapter, Bhagavan said about Lakshana of a devotee. Now same thing is told here. The Lord is pleased with one who is kind to all creatures, who is content with what he has. Santushtaha yena kenachite. And who has control over his senses. What is that? Santushto yena kenachit. That's the beauty. Whatever situation he is put, he is happy. Santushto yena kenachit. You heard the example I told long time ago. 12th chapter. Santushto yena kenachit. See, our Indira Gandhi declared emergency 2 years. At that time, Sanjay Gandhi was alive. He had a brain wave. Why not I bring all the Swamis in the Himalayas to vote so that he get mass vote? And there are lakhs of Swamis are there. If you go to Annakshetra in Kali Kambliwala in the morning 10 o'clock, you can see the population of Swamis. They are all lined up for Bhiksha. 5 rotis and dal they give. Dal is watery. 1 or 2 dal will be floating. Once in a way you get some sabji. That's a luxury. We all lived there like that. I lived there 2 years like that. But it was the best life, I tell you. Free life. Don't care life. Once in a way we get invitation to Bandara. See, Certlo come from cities. Then they give Bandara to Swamis. And Bandara is like 100, 200 Swamis will be sitting and eating. It was a torture for me to sit amidst them and eat, because we are all used to eating in a plate and all that kind of thing. But there is a, leaf. Then you have to use only right hand, you should not use left hand. That's another problem. And your echakai you have to lift the water and it's a problem. Anyway, then they served, this laddu, big laddu, in 6 it comes. And I looked at the next Swami, his laddu disappeared. Did he eat so fast? No. Put it in the bag. Later on. So like that. It's Bandara. Then they give Dakshina also. That is the income. That is interesting. So, this sadhu's population is so much there. So it was a good idea. So these policemen were sent with the jeeps, vans and all that. They were all rounded up. They were all brought to Haridwar. Given them breakfast and all that. Nice breakfast was given. Aloo paratha and things like that was given to sadhu. Sadhus were very happy. They went and free food they are getting there also. Nice food. Instead of roti dal, they are getting aloo paratha and all that. So they were happy. They went and voted. There was one Swami sitting under a tree. This policeman went, tried to get him to the jeep. Hey, aa jao mere saath. Swami said, what for? Vote karna hai. I am not interested. Now, a policeman doesn't know how to make him come. It became a challenge for him. He said, jail, nahi aaya to jail bhi denge. Then the sadhu started laughing. Very good, send me to jail because now I am sitting under a tree, no shelter. And there you will give me also 3 times food. So better shelter, better accommodation, better food also. I don't have to go for begging. You will give me food. Take me to jail. Now, what this policeman will do? Then he thought that there is some cloth he was wearing. Kapda utarenge. Remove your clothes. He again started laughing. He said, good, I am wearing it for your sake. Now, that's a santushto yena kenachite. Any situation, he is managed to enjoy life. That is what it is said. Whatever situation you are put, you should be happy. Such a person is dear to Bhagavan. Narada says. So become devoted to Bhagavan. Whatever happens in life, Haricha. That attitude is there, you will never suffer. Otherwise, every little things make you worry. Now, after Idi Prachetaso Rajan Anyacha Bhagavat Kadhaha Sravayitva Brahmalogam Yayo Swayambhuvo Munihi. Having spoken to the Prachetas about such matters concerning the Lord, the great sage born of Brahmaji went away to Brahmaloka. And Prachetas, they became absorbed in the excellence of Bhagavan. They attained supreme state. Now Maitreya said, Vidura, I have now narrated to you what you asked for. The conversation between Narada and the Prachetas, which is nothing less than a glorification of Sri Hari's excellences. Now Shukamarshi said, O king, the line of Uttanapada, the son of Swayambhu Manu, has now been described. Uttanapada, Dhruva. From Dhruva came what is that? Vena. Vena came Prithu. Prithu afterward, Prachina Barhis, then Prachetas. Now he is going to talk about Priyavrata. Uttanapada and Priyamvata. See, Manu had 2 sons, 3 daughters. Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti. We heard the story of all of them mostly. Now, Priyamvata, Priyamvata is the story. Briefly, the story is told here, very briefly. Detail will come in the 5th canto. What is the brief story? He ruled over the land for some time after he was instructed in the knowledge of Atman. First, he was in Narada's ashram. Narada instructed him, gave him Brahma Vidya, and he was very contented there. Then Uttanapada went away, nobody there to take care of the kingdom. So Manu Maharaja went to Narada's ashram and asked his grandson to become the king. Then what happened? He didn't want to go, so he looked at his guru, Narada. Narada didn't say anything. So then Manu got frustrated. He went back to Brahmaji, his father. Then Brahmaji came to Narada's ashram. Again said the same thing. What is that? In Grihastha ashramam also you can become mukti. You can attain mukti. You don't have to renounce the world to become moksha purusha. Like Janakadi, Janaka Maharaj and all that. Grihasthas also can attain mukti. But now Narada cannot say anything because his father himself has come. Again, Priyavrata looked at Naradji Narji was in a dilemma, what to tell. So Narji said, I have taught you everything. Wherever you are, you will not lose or miss my teaching. So thus Priyavrata came down and married, got children. Then his work is what is given in the 5th canto. And after listening to Maitri Rishi, Vidurji thanked him and taking his blessings, Maitri Rishi's blessings, he went to Hastinapura. That story we saw in the 2nd canto, right? Vidura went to Hastinapura and talked to Dhritarashtra and Kunti. Why are you sitting here? What for? See, haven't you seen how Bhima is giving you food like he is throwing at the dogs? with avajna, with contempt he is giving you food. Why are you still have this desire to be in the kingdom? Leave everything and come with me. Like this. He took them overnight. And then they took them to ashrama in the Himalayas. There they meditated and Dhritarashtra also attained mukti. If such a person can attain mukti, we also have a chance. That's the idea. So, with that we conclude the 4th canto. Fourth canto also finished, now 5th canto comes. The 5th canto, everything is in prose order, okay? But beauty, Sanskrit you can see there. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Have a vacation in your city.